Hi, I'm Gabby. Welcome to day 30, your final day of the month of mindfulness challenge. If you've been practicing every day from 1 through 30, congratulations, that's absolutely brilliant. I hope you've learnt some things and are feeling even a little bit happier and healthier. For our final practice, we are turning our attention to the last of the 9 main attitudes of mindfulness, and that's generosity. Generosity is turning away from self-centered actions and turning our time and attention to the needs of others. It doesn't have to be monetary or material and can come in the form of simply giving someone your full undivided attention during a conversation or offering a simple smile to a stranger passing by. Scientist, writer, meditation teacher, and founder of mindfulness-based stress reduction, or MBSR, Jon Kabat-Zinn, used the phrase, the mindful cultivation of generosity, to describe the practice of learning how and why to give, beginning with small steps. This is in his book, Wherever You Go, There You Are. And he goes on to explain that giving helps us become more mindful of our inner wealth. By practicing mindfulness of generosity, by giving and by observing its effect on others and ourselves, we are discovering expanded versions of ourselves. When we authentically give our time and attention to others, it deepens our experience of interconnectivity with the world around us. This can come in the form of improved relationships with others and yourself, higher life satisfaction, better immune health, and an overall positive outlook on life. A mindful generosity is gracious rather than transactional. We understand that all acts of generosity make the world a better place for us to live in, so we don't always need to be rewarded in kind for each act of generosity. Now, there may be times, however, when we give too much of ourselves, when we are busy taking care of the needs of others over a long period of time without sufficient replenishment for us. Being generous doesn't mean we are to be taken advantage of, what the Dalai Lama calls doormat compassion. It's also important to remember that generosity can be practiced not just with others, but with yourself. Self-acceptance, positive affirmations, or some time each day with no agenda and purpose can be all little gifts you give to yourself. Jon Kabat-Zinn says, when practicing generosity, initiate the mindful attitude of generosity by giving. Don't wait for somebody to ask. See what happens, especially to you. You may find that you gain greater clarity about yourself and your relationships, as well as more energy rather than less. You may find that rather than exhausting yourself or your resources, you will replenish them. Such is the power of mindful, selfless generosity. Mindfulness practice. For a week, at the end of every day, write down something you received and something you gave that day. It could be material, or your time, or really being present for someone. As you review the list at the end of the week, what do you notice about generosity and its influence in your life? And on that note, as we wrap up our month of mindfulness challenge, a simple way you might show some generosity to the Happier Life Project, which is brought to you by free mental health and wellness app My Possible Self, is to subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts from. I know a lot of you listen on the app, which is awesome, but if you are listening to us on one of the podcast platforms, your support really goes a long way in helping us to continue doing what we do. And speaking of continuing doing what we do, the next season of the Happier Life Project is coming soon. Our aim was to release the first episode on the 10th of October, which is World Mental Health Day and the anniversary of the podcast. But our next batch of guests are taking their time to schedule dates to record, so it might not come together in time. And that's just me being fully transparent and peeling back the curtain of the ways of the podcast world a little bit. We'll make the announcement for our next season on Instagram, so if you're not already following us, we are at mypossibleself, and I've been at Radio Gabby. Please do take care, keep up the good work, and I look forward to connecting again with you very soon. Lots of love.